So something that we find from time to time is clients that own a lot of money, or I'm sorry, a lot of their money is in one stock. Like we had a lady, she owned half of her $1.5 million was in Nvidia. Now, she had done very well with Nvidia, but what if Nvidia was going to come back down? I mean, it's the chart looks like this. It's going straight up. So this was a serious risk to her future retirement income, even though she had done extremely well with this stock. And you were telling me about a story of Isaac Newton.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Yeah, so there's this crazy story from the 1700s where Isaac Newton had invested in a company where it was the South Sea Company. So basically, that was made in 1711 to try and trade with the Spanish southern colonies.
Now, he invested all his money.
Most of it.
Yep. Most of it,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep. So again, Isaac Newton, most of us would say he's a pretty smart guy. I think basically.
Well, he made calculus.
Yeah. Pretty sharp guy.
I barely learned calculus.
So he's a sharp guy. And in 1720, Parliament then passed the Bubble Act, which required that all companies that sold to the public had to have a royal charter. But here was the crazy thing. Basically, all of the financials of that company were false. And that company, in fact, had gone to Parliament asking them, hey, can you regulate the shipping and merchant industry? And the government, understandably, was confused, saying why. They only found out later that it was a fraud, but by then it was too late. Isaac Newton, one of the smartest men of history, had lost basically all of his money. Because why? Overconcentration. He put too much of his money into one thing, and that can happen to the smartest of people.
And the thing that you need to remember is picking a bad investment is not a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the smartest people, Warren Buffett, he named Berkshire Hathaway after a company that went bankrupt that he owned. The furniture company, he bought it, it went under. And so he just used that corporation to be the investment holding firm for his future, and it's funny, he used Berkshire Hathaway to be a bankrupt company that became, his core investment holding. So making a mistake like that is not hard and should be expected. So learning from Isaac Newton, can you avoid having an over concentration in one company stock? Frankly, we say 5 to 10% should be your max in any one undiversified investment, meaning a single stock, a single bond, things like that. Now, if you have a diversified ETF or mutual fund, we don't really love mutual funds, but then you can boost that. It can be 20, 50% even, because the investment has, let's say, 100 to 1,000 different companies in it. So that diversification protects you from the single stock risk. But over concentration risk, and I'm going to tell a story that I have. When I first came into the business back in 2000, I had a guy that opened an account with me. He gave me over $400,000 of AT&T stock that he owned. And he wanted to put it in this account. I encouraged him. I begged him to reduce that value, diversify. And he pretty much told me that if I brought it up again, he would fire me. So I said, okay. Well, if you watch what happened to AT&T in 2002, it was pretty nasty. And his account lost a significant amount of money. I think it went from 400 to about 160. And then he died. His kids were convinced at first that I stole dad's money. Well, as it turns out, I showed them, hey, look, here's what he had. He had the AT&T stock. And so they got it. But they sold the stock that now had lost a lot of money. And then they just took, what's left. So, he was holding on to it because he had worked at AT&T. He had retired from AT&T, but he was loyal to a company that wasn't going to be loyal to him. Stocks aren't going to be loyal to you. They don't care about your feelings. So be careful. Single stock risk has hurt a lot of people, a lot of famous people. Be careful of that in your own portfolio and look for ways to diversify, especially in retirement when it means a lot having these funds available for your income.